Barcelona fans worldwide, welcome to the Cast. My name is Jude Famecha, and I'm the biggest Barcelona fan outside of Catalonia, if you want to believe it. The Cast is a everything Barcelona podcast where I'll reflect on our favorite team, how they performed in their game, and takeaways, and kind of what I hope to see from the team every season. So I'm glad you're joining me. Please comment, subscribe if you get a chance to, if you enjoy this content, and also would love to interact with you. For this first cast, we're going to talk about Barcelona versus Espanyol, which was a very close game, a nail biter. Kind of drudged along from time to time. I don't think that this was clearing out a Barcelona win, but they pulled it out in the end, like the 10-2 this season. So proud of them, happy for them, but also really impressed by the Espanyol team and the good derby game that they put forward. So a couple of notes that I want to go over from this game, and you guys let me know what you think. My first big standout, and I've been saying this long before I started this fan podcast, and I've been talking about it with all my friends who are Barcelona fans. I do not like Rafinha in the 10 position. I just don't think it works out. I think it limits his biggest advantage, which is his speed. I prefer him on that left wing. I think he's more dangerous there. I think the game opened up more with him there. I think if they're going to play one of their wingers in the 10 position, Lamine Yamal is much better suited for that 10 position than Rafinha is. I think he's more dangerous and more decisive, and his pace isn't as much of a factor. So I think he's as effective as you need him to be. But ultimately, I think Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo, the true out-and-out cams should retain that position. And I'll talk about another possibility later on. Second takeaway, Rashford played poorly today. And I think part of that too, I mean, he didn't have a good game, but I think part of that too is Rafinha playing in that cam position. I think either have one start and one come off the bench, or play Rashford in the 9 position. I'm a Rashford striker truer. I believe that it makes for even more dynamic team than they have. As much as I like Varane, I think he is the better option in the 9 position. I think if you are going to play Rashford and Rafinha on the same pitch, you cannot play at the same time. You cannot play Rashford on that left wing with Rafinha not providing him as much support as you would need a cam to. I think Rashford would be better in the 9 position. Third takeaway, Gerard Martin. I think he didn't have his best game since moving to the left center back. I think he's been solid and serviceable, and I think he's been the difference really in the defensive performance being improved from earlier in the season, but I still don't think he's the true solution there. And, you know, he got exposed a couple times. He's not the fastest, paciest player, and he got beaten for pace on one of the early opportunities that Espanyol got. And then on the second opportunity he gave away, he just flat out slipped. And then there was another opportunity where he just wasn't able to make the tackle. So you saw a little bit of deficiencies that he has as a center back. I still think he's a serviceable player. I think down the line he might turn into what this season of Eric Garcia has been, who was just someone who can just provide you a strong performance wherever you need him to play along that defensive line. But I don't think he's right there yet where he can be an out-and-out starter. But he's playing all right, and I mean, they had a clean sheet, so you can't complain too much. And I think he did have some strong moments in the game, but I don't think he's out and out solidified that position yet. My next takeaway is Frankie Garcia pairing is not that effective. I don't think it is, and I don't think it's as effective as the Frankie Pedri pairing or the Pedri Garcia pairing. And I am a huge Frankie de Jong fan. I think he's a phenomenal player. He's one of my favorite players in Barcelona, and I've been on his side on his team for a long time, even through all the rumors that he was going to get transferred. but I don't think he and Garcia play well together. I don't believe that they are as forward progressing and dynamic as this Barcelona team needs from that midfield pairing. And unfortunately for Frankie, I believe that the best pairing, if Garcia has to play, is the Pedri Garcia pairing. And I think that is what Hansi Flick is going to prefer to play in that midfield duo, just because Garcia provides that defensive protection that Frankie doesn't quite as much provide. And I think with the current center back situation right now, that's going to be the preferred pairing. And I think that that is the right decision as much as I love Frankie. I think the only way we go back to the Frankie Pedri pairing as the preferred option is if they're able to make a center back signing this January transfer window for that left center back, solidify the defensive line, and then you can take a little bit more liberty to have those two dynamic players of Pedri and Frankie in that double pivot. But I think if you have to have one of the two play with Garcia, definitely Pedri is the better option. I mean, Pedri's the starter, regardless of who's playing or who's available. So I just think moving forward, we're going to look forward to Pedri being back to full length and being a starter along with Eric Garcia in that double pivot, and then Frankie coming in and provide support. I also think if they do feel like they need to play those three players at the same time, most likely it's going to have to be Pedri and Garcia in that double pivot, and then Frankie playing a little bit out of position, more forward in that cam position. I spoke about like one other player that I feel like could play alongside or outside of Fermin and Danny Olmo, and I think that is Frankie. Even though he would be out of position, I think he would hold up just fine, and I would be curious to see what that trio looks like and kind of just giving Barcelona a solid foundation to like control the game truly. I think it would be a very well controlled game. I don't know how dynamic they would be in terms of scoring and goal creation, but I think they would definitely control the game with those three players playing in the three. So, biggest highlights from the game. That first goal was crazy, and that's kind of why you need Danny Olmo in the team. You need him to score when your forwards, for some reason, don't want to score in this game. No one could get a solid end product. No one could get a solid touch on the ball. Ferran had like two chances that he just completely bungled. But you brought Fermin in, a true cam, and who's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more powerful in his play, and he sets up that incredible goal for Danny Olmo. Great run by Fermin, and great run in the second goal as well. But that first goal, I think that's exactly the value that Danny Olmo brings, and why we need him to be a player, whether he's starting or coming off the bench. We need him healthy if we're gonna win some championships this season. Biggest L of the day. I can't give an L to any player on Espanyol because they all played solid and they held up their own. I mean, Barcelona didn't score to the 86th minute, and they're the top scoring team in the league by a wide margin. But biggest L of the day is definitely going to go to the crying Espanyol kid who they kept showing in the replay. I don't know why they did him dirty, showing him 3 times crying. I mean, like, sometimes I want to cry when Barcelona loses, so I don't think you need to put him on TV like that. So I would give him the biggest L, poor kid. I think there are brighter days ahead for Espanyol, so he should hold his head high. And then my second big L, I'm going to give to Stuart Robson, because this Cola cast is going to kind of serve as also a Stuart Robson hate cast or troll cast, because I think he's the biggest Barcelona hater, and every time he's commenting on these games, you can tell that he wants them to lose. You can tell that he doesn't want them to perform well, and you can kind of tell that he's happy when they don't put in a big performance or a good performance. And just his comments, as one of the biggest joys I have watching Barcelona win is if Stuart Robson is commenting and I can hear him being salty after the game. So I'll give him that L, and I'll continue to give him an L anytime he's commenting and Barcelona wins. I'm sure Cola fans who watch the game in English, in the English telecast, can relate to what I'm talking about. And then my MVP, I mean, there's not much to say. Joan Garcia, I mean, I will be on the record saying that I was wrong. I did not think he was a necessary signing. I thought he was a great player, but I didn't think he was the goalkeeper was the least of their concerns. Last summer, I really wanted a striker or another winger to kind of solidify the team, and definitely we needed another defender, especially with Martinez leaving. But I mean, the guy is ridiculous. He is absolutely amazing. Those three saves, that first save, I haven't seen a better save in all of football all season. I don't think that was ridiculous. And then that 63rd minute stop. I mean, the intelligence to be in that one-on-one position and go with the hand dive and try to save that in that way instead of what I would see a lot of other keepers do, which is try to like make themselves big and like kind of put the foot to the side, go down on one knee to like put the foot to the side and try to maybe get in the way that way. Certainly we've seen, I'm a huge Ter Stegen fan, but certainly we've seen Ter Stegen try to make the stop in that way to varying levels of success. Joan Garcia is on a different level right now, and I am so happy he's the first team keeper and the #1 choice in that back line. I think he's going to be the player of the season when it's all said and done, if he continues to put in performances like this. So I will continue to say I was wrong about him. We definitely needed him in ways that I didn't think we did. As much as I love Ter Stegen and as much as I appreciate Waz for the performance he put in last season. Tech was great last season. We definitely are benefiting from the John Garcia signing, and Espanyol fans are losing, as they clearly showed they were salty about it tonight for a good reason, because he is incredible. Those are my takeaways from today's game. I look forward to the next match. I look forward to you guys commenting and telling me what you think. What do you guys think this team needs? Who would you like to see as a January signing for that center back position that Hansi Flick thinks the team needs? Would you like to see the team go back to that Frankie Pedri pairing in the double pivot, or do you think they're better off keeping Garcia there? I mean, Garcia has been great. There's not much I can say about him. I mean, even if they went back to Frankie Pedri, I'm sure he would still find a way to stay on the pitch, maybe as the other center back on the team. But let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for joining.